It's NASCAR All-Star and Hall of Fame induction weekend. Now the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series squares off in qualifying for stock car racing's All-Star Night. First, qualifying for the Sprint Showdown. Traditional single car, 2 consecutive lap qualifying effort with the fastest of those laps being the lap of record. Of the 29 cars that are here, David Reagan in the UPS Ford has the first draw. He was 12th of 29 in practice.
Now Roush Fenway will have 3 cars in this qualifying session for the showdown for the first time in a number of years. Right now, Roush Fenway with only 1 car actually locked into the Sprint All-Star Challenge, and that's Matt Kenseth.
That 1 car right there, no, that number 6 car, he got a little ugly there in the middle of 1 and 2. That thing got a little tail happy with him.
We definitely saw a lot of loose race cars in those practice sessions earlier.
You can just see it there, Larry. That car's wiggling around quite a bit. It's not a comfortable car to be in.
First lap 29.31, 184 miles per hour.
Typical Charlotte Motor Speedway. Even with the car looking at ill, he has picked up about 4.5 tenths from what he ran in practice earlier.
Well, they don't drive quite as good if they're going fast, so he's going a little bit faster. And I'm not curious to see how he does on this. This car looks a lot better on this lap. See if there's any goodie left in the tires.
It's almost like the air pressure came up a little bit, tightened the car up just a fizz.
Second lap, same as the first. Coming up, Max Pappas, Sam Hornish, Kevin Conway, as we are in Sprint Showdown qualifying on speed.
Saturday night, the stars come out for the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race on speed. The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race, Saturday night at 7 Eastern.
Only on speed.
Welcome to Race Day on the Now Network. Right now, 712,000 people can listen to live race audio on NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile. Most commonly overheard phrase, 10,600 race fans have sent a text message from their phone to a giant video screen. And 5,700 people who saw their friend on TV are calling that friend now. Get the NASCAR Sprint Cup mobile app, newly redesigned and free with any data plan. Only from Sprint, the Now Network.
Introducing new Pennzoil Ultra, a revolutionary synthetic oil that takes clean where it's never been before. Nothing keeps your engine closer to factory clean.
I'm Johnny V. I'm rich. Why? I'm smart. I choose the $1 Baja Fish Taco with premium Alaskan pollock and zesty Baja sauce. It's a high-class meal at a make-me-richer price.
Only at Long John Silver's.
For graduation, we gave identical twins gift cards from very unidentical stores. Let's see what happens.
Gift card. Yeah! Spend some money, dude. Gift card.
Let's check out some laptops.
Oh, yes. Go, 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 go. Nice.
And check this out. You can stream it right to your TV.
Yeah, get it in there. Get it in there. I'll take it.
Class is in session.
Supernova.
Technology's so cute.
This graduation, give them something they'll actually need. Give them a gift card from Best Buy.
Colin Brown's on the pole.
Colin Brown drives the number 16. 2 poles and only 7 starts. Was a surprisingly low water bill.
Is that his mail?
The NASCAR Nationwide Series. Get into it.
On this day, before my daughter's wedding, I'd like to propose a toast to Steve Wallace, a rising star who has 16 top 10 finishes in the NASCAR Nationwide Series.
Sit down, Dad.
The NASCAR Nationwide Series. Get into it.
Speed's presentation of NASCAR Sprint All-Star Qualifying is presented by Subway Restaurant. So many $5 footlong subs to choose from. Enjoy amazing value at Subway all day, every day. Brought to you in part by Toyota. And by Johnsonville. Sausage is all we do. Max Pappas in the Geico Toyota completes his run, 29.57. His first lap was the quicker of the 2. That puts him second to David Reagan, and it puts the 8th fastest man in practice, quickest Dodge, Sam Hornish, who for most of the hour-and-a-half practice topped the chart. First lap for Sam, 29.32, second quickest to Reagan by 100th.
Yeah, Sam didn't pick up near as much as David Reagan did or Max Pappas from what he practiced earlier.
Tell you one thing, though, they've helped his car quite a lot over what I saw in practice. It's not quite as loose looking as it was in practice.
Second lap for Hornish is a 10th slower. Coming up, Kevin Conway, Greg Biffle, and Reed Sorensen.
Tonight, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series takes center stage during All-Star Week. And we're there as the world's toughest trucks battle under the lights in Charlotte. It's a full-on, no-holds-barred steel cage match where sparks will fly, metal will be crushed, and tempers will boil over. Oh, wow! Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, North Carolina Education Lottery 200, live from Charlotte, tonight at 7:30 Eastern, presented by Toyota, only on Speed.
I love my sponsor, Aaron's. After a tough day at the track, David and I race into an Aaron's store and just relax. You comfy, Rudy? He's had a long day.
Race into Aaron's for the guaranteed low price on name brand furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers. Flexible lease to own plans, and you don't need credit. Nobody beats Aaron's.
This for sale? You thinking about buying or leasing?
I'm working for an hourly wage. I went to high school, didn't do great. Still, I gotta make more cash. More education is what I'm looking at. When I get a degree, I will make a bigger salary. So now I've got to see which college is right for me. I went on the internet and found Education Connection. I took some free tests to find out my direction. I'm taking my classes online, getting my degree on my own time. Education Connection matched me with the right college for free. Get connected for free with Education Connection. Get connected for free with Education Connection.
Log on now and get your free success kit worth $100. Log on to 72educationtoday.com. That's 72educationtoday.com.
Rookie Kevin Conway in the extends Ford. The quickest of his 2 laps, 30.268. Right now he is 4th of 4. He's the leading contender for Rookie of the Year. And Greg Biffle, who is one of a dozen drivers in the showdown, accounting for a total of 115 Cup victories. This pretty star-packed field right here. Let's see what the 3M Ford can do.
I'd say it's about as star-studded as we've ever seen. And you know the thing about this race, Mike, the last 11 showdown races, we've had 11 different winners. I think we'll probably have a 12th different winner tomorrow night, considering some of these guys that are in it that are not normally in it.
And I don't necessarily think it favors one of the favorites. I think this race is a crapshoot. It always is. And just because you are doing well on the Cup side doesn't mean that you're going to do well in this race.
Biffle goes to the top of the chart with a 29.19.
Wow.
That is 15 hundredths faster than David Reagan.
That's cranking one out.
It's about 3.5 tenths quicker than he ran in practice. I don't know if we did mention it. 29 cars qualifying for this showdown. No matter what, everybody will race in the race. Nobody goes home this weekend. And this is an impound type procedure. Once they qualify these cars, NASCAR impounds them.
Man, he just about impounded the wall.
And he is slower by half a tenth. Greg Biffle is fastest. Reed Sorensen and Bill Elliott are next.
Saturday, NASCAR Race Day powers into Charlotte for our biggest show of the year. As Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Busch, Denny Hamlin, and Tony Stewart join us live. NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot live from Charlotte Saturday at 4 Eastern.
Only on Speed.
State Line, Sabre, Interstate. New from Honda.
At Gander Mountain, we're not familiar with the phrase, "I'm bored."
In the summer, you make your own fun. And no one makes it easier than Gander Mountain. With an expanded selection of high-performance gear from brands like MSR, Columbia, Merrell, and the North Face. Shop the store, our catalog, or online with free shipping every day. Gander Mountain. We live outdoors.
Here are the 5 drivers who have qualified so far for the Sprint Showdown. They'll be joined by Reed Sorensen in the Dollar General Toyota out of Braun Racing. He's made 3 Cup starts this year.
29.86 on Reed's first lap. It's just a 10th quicker than what he ran in practice. Slows down a 10th on lap 2. So pretty much it looks like the money lap, not to any surprise, is lap 1.
Let's go downstairs and join Dick Bergman.
With the Biff, the first lap was fast and it was pretty. The second lap, how close did you come to losing that hot rod?
Pretty close. I told him I was going to be at the top of the board or I'd be backwards on the fence. You know, it's time to go or go home, and I'm going to drive the race the same way. That's all we got, and it was almost both. Top of the board and backwards on the fence, all in one lap, all in 2 laps.
Wow. This is going to be fun tomorrow night, watching guys like Biffle just absolutely flat out, Mike.
Well, there's a lot at stake here for these teams and their sponsors who really want to be in that all-star race.
And you know, qualifying is a premium. This showdown is only a 40-lap race. You're going to run 20 laps. They're going to throw a caution. You have the option of pitting or not pitting. It's just like a caution coming with 20 to go. Then they'll go for 20 more laps, and caution laps count, so it's a very short race.
You know, Larry, you can tell it's an impound race because these guys that got to race these cars the way they qualify them, I think that's one reason why they don't look like they're handling so hot.
Probably fairly free, a little loose, because they know they're going to tighten up tomorrow night, especially once you burn fuel off.
Because Awesome there, he's got his hands full.
Bill Elliott, a 5-time pole winner for the All-Star race. He's been in it 18 times, and he won the only All-Star race not held at Charlotte, 1986 in Atlanta. Driving for the Wood brothers, who are running a partial schedule this year. And the time that has elapsed since Bill Elliott won the All-Star race and the Cup Championship is why he is not automatically in the All-Star race and has to get in through the showdown.
It's a 10-year window.
I bet he hopes when they untape that grill and get that thing handling a little bit better for him in the race, because he's got his hands full.
Must have tightened up a little bit, though. He picked up just a little bit on lap 2.
29.67, 5th fastest for Bill Elliott. Here's Matt Yoakum.
The Cat car, a special Hall of Fame paint scheme as well this weekend. And Jeff Burton, how tricky is this place to try to get a handle as you can feel the temperature going down and down?
Well, you know the temperature's coming down, so you're not going to drive a lot harder. The question is, you know, what's too hard? And there's only one way to find out what too hard is. So it's this place is tough. It's one of the most fun places to race because it does change so much, and you can run all different kind of grooves. But it has such a different personality when it's hot and slick versus when it's starting to cool down like this. So we're just going to go and try to not be the fastest car getting in the corner today, which will be the first in about 20 years, and try to make some time off the corner.
Good luck. Mike, how does teammate do?
Clint Boyer on track, the BB&T Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing, and he's on a run that may move him past Greg Biffle and onto the pole.
You just heard Jeff Burton say exactly what I've been saying about this car. You got to back off early, get back on it quick.
Guys, I believe he's going to be down in the 28s, it looks like, with this lap.
Bang, 28.92. Nice lap for Clint Boyer.
He can take that one to the bank.
Trying to get into his 3rd All-Star race. 186.6 miles an hour for Boyer. Wow.
It is a spectacle among spectacles. No one has ever run that many races in any form of motorsport.
The common man doing uncommon deeds.
The NASCAR Hall of Fame enshrines its first class of inductees. Sunday, live on Speed.
You have reached your destination.
All right, kittens, suit up.
It has everything, so you can do anything.
Introducing new Pennzoil Ultra, a revolutionary synthetic oil that takes clean where it's never been before. Nothing keeps your engine closer to factory clean.
So what do you think?
We need his experience.
Yeah, but he has more energy.
Now you can get the best of both. Try Touch of Gray. Combs away a little gray without getting rid of it all.
I've got big plans for you.
Touch of Gray.
Thousands may become full droves. Scientists continue their struggle to find methods of identifying the surrogates. This latest wave of the inhabitants seem to disappear into the populous ocean.
Navigation. Emergency room.
Who's going to the emergency room?
All of us.
Your route is being calculated.
It has everything, so you can do anything.
Robbie Gordon in his unsponsored car rolling into the garage with that Toyota after completing his qualifying run. Gordon is 5th fastest at a 29:45. He is 5th of 9 so far. They're ready. Trucks tangle tonight. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Next, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
Larry, the track obviously is pretty fast. Got some speed in it. See what Allmendinger runs here. He was pretty quick in practice. Running awfully high in 3 and 4. Just don't know that that's a good way to go for qualifying. We'll see how it works out.
Going to be a good lap for him. Not a pole run, but I believe he'll go to second quickest at a 29:12. For A.J. Allmendinger. Yeah, most mile-and-a-half racetracks we go to by race day, you run the high groove. Qualifying, you run the bottom. They're running the high groove even in qualifying.
Yeah, they must have figured that out over here testing, I reckon, but I think it's faster if you hook the bottom.
Dinger was the fastest Ford in practice. He's only the third driver to be one and done. Dick Berggren?
With Clint Boyer, who's the fastest man in Charlotte so far, how close to the edge were you in that qualifying run?
Oh, very, very close out there. No, it was good. BB&T Chevrolet. It's an important qualifying session, an important race. We haven't won a race. We have to, if we can win this, be our first win together and get ourselves in the All-Star race. Very important night for NASCAR, and it's important to us to be in it. So a good qualifying run goes a long ways towards a good run in that shootout. Got some good cars to beat, Biffle, Montoya, my teammate Jeff Burton, a lot of good cars. But so far so good for the BB&T Chevrolet. I don't know if that'll hold up. I got a little bit tight in 3 and 4 and gave up some speed down there. Got through 1 and 2 good. Tried that outside. I didn't know whether to go on the bottom, go high or what. I just, heck with that. I tried it on the outside. But all in all, good job.
Hey, it's All-Star night. You got to try stuff. It's okay.
Clint Boyer fastest so far as Regan Smith takes the white flag with a 29:53. The driver of the Furniture Row Chevy is 7th fastest.
His car just about the middle of the corner just walked up the racetrack to late exit.
That Boyer's a funny man, isn't he? He is. He's got a funny sense of humor.
He really does.
How close were you to it? Wow, man, I was all over it.
This car here is mighty loose, mighty free for Regan Smith.
Second lap for Regan, exactly a tenth slower. We've seen that from 3 or 4 drivers thus far.
What the heck? Why not play 2? You never know, it might pick up a little bit. I don't blame you.
These drivers are lining up to race tomorrow night for 40 laps, 60 miles. 2 20-lap segments. The second segment, green flag laps only, count. The first and second place finishers advance, plus the highest fan vote getter of those remaining. And the winner of the showdown, actually that number is going to be up over $51,000 because unlike the difficulty they had a couple of years ago, NASCAR put enough places in the purse for all the anticipated entries. And since there were more positions posted than cars that entered, the rest of the money gets spread out evenly. So the winner should get 51 grand.
Well, did you see the size of that little purse?
Yeah.
Not bad for 40 laps.
Right at $900,000.
For a showdown. Huh?
Pretty big.
Paul Menard in the Serta mattress. Menard's Ford.
Look at this lap. He picked up that throttle in 3 and 4, and it stuck. It's going to be a great lap.
Bang, 28.90 by 2 100ths.
That's good.
He pips Clint Boyer. And Menard looks like he has found the form with which he started this season.
Well, we know a lot of the big guns, of course, in their all-star race, but right now the Ford's all running that new FR9 engine here. We got 4 in the top 5 so far.
All right, Matt?
Well, Martin Truex Jr. gelling at the right time with crew chief Pat Tryson. You've been voted in by the fans one time back in 05. You raced your way in by winning the showdown in 07, so you know how to get in. I guess, can you get the pole first?
Well, I hope so. We were able to do it last week at Dover. We had 43 of them to beat, or 42 of them, so hopefully we can beat these guys. We'll just have to see. Renapa Toyota was good in practice. I was happy with it, both in race trim and on our little mock-up run. So we'll just have to see what we get here, but need to start up towards the front, I think, to win this thing, so it's important.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Michael Waltrip is in the Prism Motorsports number 55, sponsored by Huntersville restaurant Red Rocks Cafe and Tech South, a welding equipment manufacturer.
That little car's been qualifying pretty good. Mikey's giving it a pretty good ride. Got a little free right there getting in with him. That cost him some time. Got through 1 and 2 pretty good. A little bit shaky through in 3 and 4.
Didn't give up much though, Darrell. Looks like he's going to come across top half dozen. 5th, 29-29. Good lap.
Good lap.
Good lap. Good job.
Michael's one of those guys back in 1996, transferred by virtue. I think back then it was a top 5 finish that would get you into the All-Star race, and he went on to win that thing later on that evening.
Red Rock Ron will be real happy with that.
Ron Herbert. Only one set of brothers has ever won the All-Star race. Guess who?
Ooh. Same two that only two that ever win the Daytona 500, I think.
We're listening to one and we're watching one.
Donnie Allison won the Daytona 499.
Don't count.
Bobby won the 500.
Dale won that race a bunch of times.
Yeah, that's right. Juan Pablo Montoya. Now, you want to see a little different line going off into the corner. Here's the fellow to watch, and he has been fast in practice.
Yeah, this will definitely be one of the big bullets that Paul Menard will have to dodge.
Big high arc into the corner. Staying up high. Late exit, very late apex, that is.
What he did, let that car do, he let it take a set before he picked that throttle up. That way, when he nailed it, he could go to it and stay after it down in turn 1 and 2.
He kind of diamonds the corners. He doesn't bog the car down by getting it on the bottom and turning the wheels a lot. He just kind of lets it.
Oh man, what a run he got off 4.
It's going to be way down in the
free and fast. 71, 28-71.
I know when I was over here watching them test, this car was bad fast.
That's one of those laps. If they beat it, you just tell them to have at it.
That's it.
We're getting there now, boys. 188 miles an hour.
Dick Berggren's found gainful employment. Norm Benning and Elliott Sadler are next.
Hi, I'm Dan Hesse, CEO of Sprint. We're so confident in the improvements we've made to our network, our phones, our plans, and to customer service that we're offering you this simple guarantee. Join us, and if you're not completely happy with Sprint within 30 days, we'll give you your money back. Pretty simple, huh?
The Sprint Free Guarantee. Learn more at sprint.com/guarantee.
Maybe it's time you went out for a night off the town. Check out the National Go Outdoors event at Bass Pro Shops. Get great deals on great gear, including the new Ascend A10 kayak for under $300, plus free family activities this weekend.
What are you doing, Bob? I finally figured out how to get my lawnmower to sense precisely the speed I want to walk. It's going to be effortless. Why don't you just get one of these?
Toro Personal Pace Technology. Mowing has never been easier.
Are you ready to mow through the day with a real workhorse? To have the most pulling power at your fingertips and a cushy suspension seat under your backside. How about we all agree that Old Reliable should be every tractor's nickname and back it up with a 5-year powertrain warranty? Well, friend, you're ready for the #1 selling tractor in the world. Mahindra.
From the dirt roads hidden in the foothills of North Carolina. From the smoothly packed sand on the beaches of Daytona. From the main streets of small-town USA. They are drawn along with thousands of others to bring their stories and their passion for speed to the place where it all comes to life, where the spirit lives on, where the race lives on. the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Get your tickets and charter memberships today.
Norm Benning from Level Green, Pennsylvania, and that unsponsored Chevrolet attempted the Daytona 500, making him eligible for the Sprint Showdown. Pretty good paying race, $25 grand to every driver who starts or more.
Look at that
and Benning, $31.64.
Big pickup,
51.
though. Big pickup from the first lap to the second.
Dick Berggren?
With Paul Menard, 10th in practice, 2nd in qualifying, at least so far. Where'd the speed come from?
We had a really good 2 days of testing here. Really happy with the way that test went. We brought the same car back with a few minor changes, and that kind of threw us off in practice. So we kind of reset it halfway through practice and got some speed back. Did one qualifying run in practice, and it wasn't very good. Slugger and the boys worked on it, and we have a fast set of mattresses forward for tomorrow.
Nice job, thanks.
Menard presently second to Juan Pablo Montoya as Elliott Sadler in the Hunt Brothers Pizza Ford tries to make it into his 6th All-Star main event.
That's a car that got up against the wall in practice, but they determined nothing was really hurt, and he was right back out there in about 10 minutes after he did that.
6th place, 29:23 is his qualifying time. He is 6th. Dick?
Juan Pablo Montoya is first. Tell us about going through turn 3 and 4.
This Target Chevy has been really good. It's amazing how good of a job the whole team is doing, and it was hairy. I went in good. It just like I committed to the throttle, but no, I'm not that committed. So I had to lift a little bit in the middle, but it still was a great lap.
Good job. Thank you.
He may not be on the pole for long, Dick. Here comes Jeff Burton in the Caterpillar Chevrolet of Richard Childress, trying to make it to his 13th All-Star race. Can he knock Montoya from the pole?
Got the same engine on the hood.
Earnhardt Ganassi engines.
Didn't get through the middle of 3 and 4 that good. It's going to be a little short, it looks like, but it's going to be close.
5/100ths off the pole. For Jeff Burton, he is second.
But that's a great point that Darrell made. They do have the same engine package.
I was over here again testing, and I watched those cars, the Childress cars and Ganassi cars with those engines in them, and they were screaming up off the corner. I couldn't believe how much RPM they were turning.
Jeff's going to go ahead and run this second lap, but it will. Boy, he got real loose late exit turn 4, but he stayed in it, but it's definitely going to be slower than lap 1, 29.02.
Coming up, Scott Speed, Marcus Ambrose, Martin Truex.
This May on Speed, everything leads up to a weekend television event beginning Saturday, May 22nd at 7 Eastern, the 2010 NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. Then, Sunday, May 23rd at high noon Eastern, NASCAR's founding father, Bill France Sr., Bill France Jr., along with the King, Richard Petty, Junior Johnson, and Dale Earnhardt, rightfully take their place as the very first inductees into NASCAR's Hall of Fame, right here on Speed.
This weekend, I will not recreate the Sistine Chapel on my bathroom ceiling.
I will simply repaint it.
And I will repaint the trim.
I will not spend more time waiting to get help
than it takes to paint a room.
I will go to Ace
and get what I need.
I will be finished. Then, I will watch the Kung Fu movie marathon.
The folks at Ace help you find what you need so you can get in, get help, and get on with your life. Right now, get a $5 mail-in rebate off Royal Paint. At Ace, the helpful place.
And now, your homecoming queen is Becca Weiniger. True beauty.
And that's it. That's all.
On MLB Tonight and access. You also get up to 60 other channels for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
And ostomy supplies and mastectomy fashions.
Call 1-800-342-4506. 1-800-342-4506.
Liberator Medical helped me get my life back. They can do the same for you.
These are the first laps Scott Speed has taken in this backup Red Bull Toyota after getting against the wall in practice. His first lap was good enough for 8th fastest. His second lap, 6th quickest, 29.18.
Scotty likes it. He likes his backup car.
Yeah, he popped that wall pretty hard off turn 2 in practice with his primary car.
I like his little paint job right here. This is cool looking. I like that horse on the hood.
Horsepower. Cavalia is a show launched by the founder of Cirque du Soleil involving show horses. It's playing now in Charlotte near the Bank of America Stadium. So they'd like to get some race fans over there. And Marcus Ambrose, and boy, he was on a flyer there.
Yeah, he was good till he come up off turn 2.
Looked like the car might have got just a little tight with him as he exited the corner. You see there, he gets that left wheel down as low as he can. It just tells you the car might be a little snug with him.
It's going to be a great lap for him, though.
4th for Ambrose, 28.91. He is the 5th driver to go around here in less than 29 seconds. And he's gonna, well, he was trying hard to play 2 there. I'm not sure how that's going to work out.
Yeah, he becomes the fastest Toyota in this showdown qualifying session. This team had a penalty at Texas due to some unapproved weight addition, and they appealed it. It was 50 driver owner points, $50,000. Crew chief Frank Kerr on probation at the end of the year. They went to the Stock Car Commission this past week and did lose the appeal.
It was kind of cool what they did. They made a pan that goes up under the radiator in between the frame rails up near the front of the car where the sway bar and all is. They made it out of really, 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 really heavy metal. Yeah. You're allowed to have a pan up there, but just not out of heavy material like they use.
Yeah,
so
usually that pan weighs about 2 pounds instead of
a piece of aluminum.
Instead of 40 plus pounds.
Roger.
So here is Martin Truex in the Napa Toyota.
Pole holder from last week.
He was 3rd quickest in that practice earlier.
Trying to make his 4th All-Star main event. Picking it up.
Like the way it got down in there. It looked really solid and stable for him.
Now, this will be interesting to see how he works on the low line versus Montoya, who ran the high line and is fastest.
He just didn't get off turn 2, and that actually hurt his speed all the way down the back straightaway. He's coming back just a little bit. Inching toward that front row. This is going to look like it may be in the high 70s.
3rd, 28.77.
Pretty there, bud. P3, great job, man.
They got this little car qualifying good, man.
Yes, they do. So now,
I think if you want to win the pole here, you better have paid close attention to where Montoya ran on the track and got such a good run up off the corner.
Yeah, I just don't know if anybody else can do that or not.
I'm not sure they can.
He always has that unorthodox line that he likes to run, and it works for him.
Todd Bodine in the Little Joe's Auto Sales Toyota. Not sure where he starts tonight in the Camping World Truck Series race, but you know he'll be right in the thick of things this evening. That follows us right here on Speed. This Gunselman car was 22nd in practice.
Did not run a lot of races to start the season, but they showed up 2 or 3 weekends ago and been coming to the racetrack every week since.
And Todd will roll off 9th tonight. Kyle Busch has the pole. James Buescher, Donnie Leah right up there for the start.
Donnie Leah had been fast all day long in those 2 practice sessions.
14th for Todd, 29.40. Second lap looks a lot like the first. Maybe a little quicker.
Tell you what, you know, regardless of where that lap's at, I mean, he's sit there and he's qualified pretty much right with Sam Hornish Jr. out of the Penske camp. So that's not a bad lap for that little race car.
First lap is going to do it for Todd Bodine by exactly, what, 1/10 of a second. Robert Richardson next.
I'm Kurt Busch, and you're watching Speed.
Well, we wanted to do something for our fans.
I want Kyle Busch in a pink car in a pink suit.
And now, they get to be our sponsors.
This has always been artistic.
And she loves those cats.
Who doesn't like kittens, bunnies, and little baby seals?
I love you.
No, thank you, sweetheart.
No, write that on the spoiler.
What will you design? ToyotaRacing.com.
At Gander Mountain, we're not familiar with the phrase, I'm bored. In the summer, you make your own fun. And no one makes it easier than Gander Mountain. With an expanded selection of high-performance gear from brands like MSR, Columbia, Merrell, and the North Face. Shop the store, our catalog, or online with free shipping every day. Gander Mountain. We live outdoors.
Introducing America's best seafood special, Long John Silver's $4.99 sampler combo with premium Alaskan pollock, juicy chicken, plump shrimp, sides, and a drink. Now just $4.99. It's only through May, and only at Long John Silver's.
For graduation, we gave identical twins gift cards from very unidentical stores. Let's see what happens.
Gift card. Yeah! Spend some money, dude. Gift card.
Let's check out some laptops.
Oh, yes. Go, 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 go. Nice.
And check this out. You can stream it right to your TV.
Yeah, get it in there. Get it in there. I'll take it.
Class is in session.
Supernova.
Technology is so cute.
This graduation, give them something they'll actually need. Give them a gift card from Best Buy.
TheGrillTopper.com Dodge Charger for Robert Richardson out of McKinney, Texas. His car owned by Brian Keselowski. 3109 for Richardson. That is 21st of 22 right now. Next up, another Dodge, J.J. Yaley in the number 46. It says Shakin' Jake on the hood. And this team's done well since J.J. came aboard, replacing Terry Cook, rookie contender. Whitney Motorsports is the team. Several sponsors aboard. And right where he's close to being the quickest Dodge, and drops just a bit.
Picked up a skosh off that corner.
MilitaryWarriors.com and JakesFoundation.org on the side, and he's 15th at 29.40. And for a car that early this year had difficulty making races, that's a pretty good run.
Yeah. Beats Todd Bodine with 1/1000 in a second.
Travis Kvapil, Joe Nemechek next.
Tonight, the world's toughest trucks battle under the lights in Charlotte, where sparks will fly, metal will be crushed, and tempers will boil over. Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series live from Charlotte tonight at 7:30 Eastern, only on Speed.
For over a year, we've asked you to take a look at Dish Network and DirecTV, where side by side, your favorite shows are the same. But with Dish Network, you'll pay less to watch them. And lower prices aren't the only difference you'll notice. Because the fact is, Dish Network has the highest rated customer satisfaction among cable and satellite TV providers in America. Dish Network. Lower price, better value, and the highest customer satisfaction. Why would you ever pay more for TV?
Okay, well, we got all the loan documents taken care of for your new car. All I need now is just a copy of your insurance card. Just a moment. What is he doing?
Getting an online insurance quote from the General.
Need auto insurance right now? Log on to thegeneral.com for a low rate, low monthly payment, and a down payment as low as $59.
You'll also get instant proof of insurance. For the best car insurance rates online, go to the General and save some time.
If you could see what your headlights see, you would never let this happen. Are you letting your headlight lenses hurt the appearance of your car because they're too expensive to replace or too hard to repair? With McGuire's Headlight Restoration Kit, you can make your lens covers clear again. Simply apply McGuire's Plastics Polish using our unique Safety Edge buffing pad on any electric grill. Scratches, yellowing, and oxidation quickly disappear. Guaranteed. McGuire's Headlight Restoration Kit, the clear choice.
The
2010 NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. A night of thrilling, unpredictable, anything-can-happen racing action you'll never forget.
Here is the $1 Baja Fish Taco at Long John Silver's Ford. That's a mouthful. For Travis Kvapil, he's 18th quickest at a 29.55. And Joe Nemechek trying to make his 7th All-Star event in his unsponsored Toyota. First lap 29.70, 21st on the board.
Yeah, he had a car that he had planned on bringing here and wrecked it in a practice qualifying run at Darlington a couple of weeks ago. When you're a single car operation, very underfunded, very understaffed, tearing a race car up like he did, it could set you behind for a while.
Man, those rear quarter panels on his car, I guess the way that paint job is, look like they're almost dragging the ground.
Pants on the ground. Speed's coverage of NASCAR Sprint All-Star Qualifying is brought to you by Tornadoes. Bold is how we roll. By Loctite Adhesives and Sealants. Trusted performance, proven results. And by Mahindra Tractors. Visit your local dealer and test drive a Mahindra tractor today. Paula Montoya quickest, Jeff Burton second, 4 cars to go.
Something is a myth.
And something's wrong with the Aflac Ford.
You cannot cross the start-finish line.
Of Carl Edwards.
I'm going to come back to the beginning.
What the heck?
So it'll be a do-over for Carl. Now, if you come along and cross that start-finish line, then that hits the clock and starts your 2 laps. So whatever happened to Carl, he can come back around through turn 1 and then get a good enough run to get back up to speed.
But I missed what happened. Why is he doing this?
They're going to have the pace truck take a lap because of some rain falling.
So that must be what Carl says. Okay, I got rain on my windshield. If I go out, if I take the green, I'm on my run. I'm done. So he must be saying, look, it's raining and I don't want to go.
Because unless every car qualifies, it's not an official qualifying session.
Water rolls off a duck's back, but those slick treaded tires, not so much.
But what Carl's doing there is perfectly legal.
Yep.
Even if he'd have taken the green flag, as long as he doesn't complete the first lap, his qualifying run is not in the books.
Every bit of misfortune at the races benefits someone. David Reagan and Max Pappas. Should this qualifying session get rained out, the order of starting tomorrow night would be determined by the qualifying draw, and they would be on the front row. Right now, Reagan is 12th and Pappas 19th.
Well, the other thing I like about what Carl's doing, I see a lot of guys do this, and they'll just go over to, over to the end of the back straightaway, turn around, and take off. They give up all that getting up to speed. He's coming all the way back down here to the. You can come all the way to the first turn side of the start-finish line if you want to, and start from there. But I think what Carl is saying, look, boys, it's raining out there, and I do not want to run.
I believe that's what this 99 car's issue was simply he felt some rain. And Mike, to add to what you just talked about, Max Pappas and David Reagan, Montoya was going to go out 15th. Jeff Burton was going to go out 18th. So should these other 4 or 5 cars not qualify, that's where those guys would start tomorrow night.
Well, we've got that, Mike, we've got that rain, that dreaded rain that's coming over the first turn down here, it looks to me like.
And certainly that's the issue, Darrell, because if it was an issue with the car, they would not allow him to restage, nor would they have allowed Bob Osborne or any of that crew to touch that car after Edwards had left the line.
Really, it's just a really heads-up move on Carl's part. Because once he takes the green, it doesn't matter if it's pouring down. He's on. That's his lap.
And the issue we're going to be faced with showdown qualifying and the All-Star Challenge qualifying, if we do get a lot of rain and we lose the track, the first preference is going to be the truck race because it happens pretty quick after qualifying scheduled to end.
So the qualifying draw would determine the order if qualifying is canceled, even though 25 of 29 drivers have already taken time. But let's not get this cart too far ahead of the horse. We've still got plenty of time to deal with, and the jet dryers will make an appearance, trying to keep some heat in the racetrack. and get us back under green just as soon as possible.
Saturday, NASCAR Race Day powers into Charlotte for our biggest show of the year. As Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Busch, Denny Hamlin, and Tony Stewart join us live. NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot live from Charlotte Saturday at 4 Eastern.
Only on Speed.
At Gander Mountain, we're not familiar with the phrase, "I'm bored." In the summer, you make your own fun. And no one makes it easier than Gander Mountain. With an expanded selection of high-performance gear from brands like MSR, Columbia, Merrell, and the North Face. Shop the store, our catalog, or online with free shipping every day. Gander Mountain. We live outdoors.
Hi, my name's Tyler. I'm 15 years old. When I was 11 years old, I had bone cancer, and it looked like I was going to lose my leg. Thanks to the tissue transplant, I'm a regular teenager and pretty good golfer. I do have a scar on my leg. The scars do come in handy when I'm talking to the ladies because I tell them that it's a shark bite.
Say yes to life. Check yes every time you renew your driver's license or sign up at donatelifecalifornia.org.
Have you looked at your bill yet?
Your phone bill. Your internet bill.
We looked at our bill from the phone company. We were wasting money.
Throwing it away.
I hate wasting anything, especially money.
We wish we'd looked sooner.
Wish we'd looked sooner.
Ridiculous. Shocking.
So we switched.
We switched. We looked at our bill and we switched to Comcast Business Class.
Great deal.
Fast internet.
Better phone. Tools from Microsoft.
So, have you looked at your bill yet?
Find out how much your business can save. Call Comcast at 1-800-391-3000.
Tonight on Speed, an all-star edition of NASCAR Trackside, featuring Joey Logano, Mark Martin, Alan Gustafson, and Hall of Fame inductee Junior Johnson. It's the Ultimate Friday Night House Party. Special time at 10:30 Eastern, only on Speed.
And we will ask Mark and Alan one question about 2011.
And it's a must-see show. You don't want to miss it.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Hammond was this. I mean, he was probably the best he's been this year.
What was his phrase?
Oh, you never know how you're going to look till you have your picture to it. But I don't know. That's just something.
That was his words of wisdom of the day.
Yeah. I mean, he still thinks they got filming cameras, for heaven's sake.
You know, guys, speaking of the day, I got to wish Brandon McReynolds, my son, a very, very happy 19th birthday today.
Yeah.
And we got to wish Jessica Lee a quick, speedy recovery.
Yep. She had a little something going on. She's going to be fine.
A little rain here after 25 of 29. Sprint Showdown cars have qualified. Montoya and Burton right now in the front row. Truex and Menard, Ambrose and Boyer. Allmendinger and Speed, Biffle and Sadler are the top 10. A little rain shower down in turns 1 and 2. They called off the jet dryers. So that indicates that not a lot of rain fell. And we should pretty quickly get back to qualifying.
You know, Larry, you're talking about Brandon. I really think if somebody would give Brandon a shot, I watched him race. And I know he's your kid. And try not to be not to brag on him too much, but I can. I think he's got what it takes.
Well, I appreciate
really
that.
do.
We're working very hard to get some stuff put together for him, and I feel the same way. Not because his last name is McReynolds, because I've watched him.
Bob Osborne is being taken for a ride.
And this is pretty standard procedure, too.
Yeah, not to the Oval Office. He's been invited to take a tour of the track with a NASCAR official in one of those track safety trucks to see that the track is dry enough for Carl to go out and run his lap.
You know what that tells me? Bob Osborne is the one that said, hey, my car's not going to qualify. It's raining too much.
Okay.
And he's probably the one that called Carl and said, stop, don't take the green. So they want to be sure Bob's happy.
Look at all those wheeling lights just flashing away there. Sprint takes you inside the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series for an inside look at what's happening now. Top speed so far 188 miles an hour for Juan Pablo Montoya, who is at the moment the pole sitter. For more, check out NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile at sprint.com/speed.
The old Kleenex trick.
I love that. Yeah. That's what we used to do. You're supposed to throw it down there and see if it'll stick or not.
Try that spot right there because that's where Carl's going to run.
But we used to do that at Daytona testing in January. It's the only way you could tell if turn 1 and 2 was actually dry and was ready to test on.
Well, if it was in the shade, or it's cloudy, you just couldn't tell. But you could lay that napkin down there or a Kleenex or something and you could tell.
Dick Berggren.
Speed, just hanging around outside his hauler, drinking a huge Red Bull. I never saw one quite as big as that. What happened to you in practice today?
We tried a little bit different setup, and it just sort of reacted a little bit different. It caught me, a little bit by surprise coming off at turn 2, and we just got loose and waited too long to correct it. And then when I did a typical open wheel deal. It's so hard for me to just lock it down and spin it out to the inside. It's not in the head. So I was trying to correct it and bring it back, and I just overcorrected and end up putting the front end of the wall.
So how's the backup car?
It's good. I was really proud to be able to go out there and run as good as we had. We didn't obviously run a qualifying lap, and we hadn't been in that car yet. So it's pretty optimistic for how well everything ran right out of the truck.
And for tomorrow night, what can we expect from Scott Speed?
We'll see. Hopefully, I don't know how, but hopefully we can get the other guys qualified so we don't have to qualify, start 19th. So let's see, I think I hear them. Or no, those are airplanes. But that's the optimistic thinking right there.
I like that. You may as well be optimistic. It doesn't cost any more to be optimistic than pessimistic.
Absolutely. There you go.
All right, Scott Speed hanging out here in the garage area in the rain.
Thanks, Dick. This qualifying was rained out last year. There were 2 little weather systems, and here they come up toward the speedway where that little red icon is, and they kind of gathered together and ganged up on us here. Not enough cars on track for the vortex theory to work, but you see that's a very small system, and once it gets through, we have quite a break. Might be putting windshield wipers on the trucks for later.
Okay.
But yeah.
If this big guy down here doesn't decide to come up our way.
But I like where that's at because it looks like that may skirt to the south of us.
We're hoping so.
I'll take Larry's word on that. Do you hear that weather term? It's going to skirt to the south of us.
I like that.
It's weather lingo, Mike. We don't speak that language.
No, we're not the weather people.
No.
I wake up with Al every morning.
You tape it.
This May on Speed, everything leads up to a weekend television event beginning Saturday, May 22nd at 7 Eastern, the 2010 NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. Then, Sunday, May 23rd at high noon Eastern, NASCAR's founding father, Bill France Sr., Bill France Jr., along with the King, Richard Petty, Junior Johnson, and Dale Earnhardt, rightfully take their place as the very first inductees into NASCAR's Hall of Fame, right here on Speed.
Hi, I'm Dan Hesse, CEO of Sprint. We're so confident in the improvements we've made to our network, our phones, our plans, and to customer service that we're offering you this simple guarantee. Join us, and if you're not completely happy with Sprint within 30 days, we'll give you your money back. Pretty simple, huh?
The Sprint Free Guarantee. Learn more at sprint.com/guarantee.
When my dad wasn't racing cars, he was rebuilding them. And the same went for me. That's why when I want to look for a classic to rebuild, I go to Copart.com. Copart.com has over 50,000 vehicles online to choose from every day. Everything from classics, cars, trucks, motorcycles, rebuilders, you name it. That's what makes Copart.com the virtual auction for people who are passionate about cars, like me, Carl Edwards. Copart.com, where car guys get cars.
What are you doing, Bob? I finally figured out how to get my lawnmower to sense precisely the speed I want to walk. It's going to be effortless. You see, it can read my mind.
Oh. Why don't you just get one of these? Toro Personal Pace Technology. Mowing has never been easier. Get special savings today at your Toro retailer.
What's up with the lemonade stand?
Actually, it's a Mike's Hard Lemonade stand.
Okay. What's up with the Mike's Hard Lemonade stand?
Mike's is lemonade and alcohol. And we're at a tailgate party. It's a nice change of pace from beer.
Well, I already brought beer for everyone. But, I guess I can take some Mike's, too.
All right. You got it. Forgot to pay. You tell him.
Don't forget the mics. Lemonade for grown-ups.
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway, where that is not the sound of an 850 horsepower Sprint Cup engine. Rather, it's the sound of the jet dryers.
That's the sound of the men working in the rain.
You see way to the left of the shot, second car back, that's Carl Edwards leaning in. Talking to Derek Cope. Out of his car because the rain has picked up. And let's check with Dick Bergman.
With David Reagan, and if there is anyone here at Charlotte Motor Speedway that would like to see it rain right now, it is you, because if the rest of this qualifying rains out, you get to start right up front. Can you do a rain dance for us? Let's see. Down to the feet. Here we go. Rain dance, David Reagan. All right. I think that's going to get the job done.
Yeah, that was okay. I'm not much of a dancer. You know, we were talking about it earlier before qualifying, and our crew chief, Donnie Wingo, he's a big believer in drawing ones, drawing 30s, and obviously we wanted to go late, and someone said, hey, it might rain, so try to draw a 1, and I went and drew a 1. So our UPS Ford's okay. We made a few adjustments. Obviously, the last 20 laps of tomorrow night's showdown is the most important 20, so I do wish it keeps raining, though.
Car looked like it was a bit of a handful in that time trial, was it?
It was. Got a little free going through turns 1 and 2, and you know, this is a true impound race where we can't touch the cars afterwards, so you've really got to hang on to it here during qualifying. And after seeing some of the other guys go, I feel like I missed a little bit by not running up a little higher. Some of the guys have picked up some speed running that second and third groove, certainly through 3 and 4. So we made a few changes, and I think our UPS Ford's going to be okay tomorrow. I'm excited. This is always a fun weekend, and our teammate Carl Edwards helped us out a little bit too by messing around for a few minutes there on the racetrack. So we'll see. We'll take whatever. If we have to start 12th or 13th, we'll be ready to race them.
Well, we knew Elio Castro-Neves was a dancer, and now you. How about that? Matt Yoakum.
And Dick, I can tell you, Carl Edwards spent time at the Weather Channel like Larry Mack. I spent time for a semester at Florida State in the weathercasting class, so it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out the rain's definitely picked up. Who made the call, you or Bob, to back it around and bring it back to pit road?
Okay, well, I made the call to not continue at speed, and Bob did make the call to not cross the start-finish line, but, you know, man, this Aflac Fusion's too good to wreck. And do we start by our draw, or do we start by points? By the draw. Wonderful.
I hate to give you great news.
Yeah, it's wonderful news. I was real excited about my draw because I figured the temperatures would be low. I just didn't think it would be wet. Now, that duck likes water, but the Goodyears don't like the water. So I stopped down there, and I thought it's okay to drive around backwards, and I thought we might get to go, but it looks a little rainy here.
You look at the level of competition in the showdown event. I mean, it's a stellar lineup to try to make it in for one of those couple spots.
Yeah, I was sitting in the garage. I got Clint on one side and Burton on the other, and you know, Juan's so fast. You know, it's going to be a heck of a race. So you know, I'd have a lot of pride in winning this thing and making my way into the show that way. And hopefully the fans are out there voting for us. You know, that's our last resort, but it's going to be wild. It's going to be fun tomorrow night.
Speaking of wild, speaking of pride, you won the Prelude to the Dream a couple years ago at Eldora, which is coming up in about 3 weeks. Do you have your car ready? You excited about this year's pay-per-view event?
Yeah, I'm real excited. Stacy Holmes and those guys have got a Barry Wright car they say it's spectacular. Last year we had a bent spindle or something, and they didn't find it until after the race, and they say that car is really good. And Aflac's on board, and man, it's going to be cool. That was so neat, that race that Jeff and I had, and man, it just, that's something still to this day. People come up and say, man, that Eldora race was great. So that'll be a blast.
That'll be a blast. This will also be a blast tomorrow night. Everyone going for a lot of money here at Charlotte. Mike?
Here's what's on the line. Umbrellas, yeah. What did we say earlier? Let a smile be your umbrella. Montoya is fastest. He and Jeff Burton would be 15th and 18th if qualifying is rained out. In fact, of the top 10 of the moment, only Greg Biffle would end up in the top 5. Everybody in the top 5 moves back. Everybody in the second 5 moves around, and Biffle's the only one that moves up. Wow.
Boy, Martin Truex Jr. would be a big loser, 3rd to 21st.
And it's such a short race. I mean, that's going to be a big, big deal, man.
Yeah, 2 20-lap segments. That's it.
Track position is going to be king.
Dick Bergman.
With A.J. Allmendinger, we were talking just a little while ago with Scott Speed about trying to get rid of the open wheel mindset. Now, you come from open wheel racing. How long does it take to get rid of all the habits that work so well in open wheel racing, rear engine cars, and pick up the habits that work in big league stock cars?
I mean, I think you're constantly, going through your mind and learning, and I think that's something with these race cars and the Sprint Cup Series in general. It's tough, so it's taken me a couple years. I felt like last year was a turning point, but it was tough for me because, I was in and out of the car so much, missing races and the struggles we went through the first couple of years. So I really felt like last year was the first really full season I could every week show up, take stuff that I had learned from the week before and apply it. So this is some of the toughest racing in the world.
Tell us about the feeling you get driving an open wheel car where you're lying down, your butt is right on the racetrack in comparison to the stock car where you're sitting bolt upright. What is the feeling from the perspective of speed?
Well, there's just so much grip in the Indy car in general, and especially when Scott came from F1. Those cars, they even had more downforce. So it's those things, when you get loose, it's like that. That's loose in an open wheel car. When these, you got to drive them sideways and you got to learn how to do that. So it just takes time, but at the same point, for me, that's what makes it so much fun. You get to slide them around, kind of hang up against the wall, and just have a good time with them.
How do you find the edge when you're driving a car that's sideways?
You wreck some. I think...
and you've done that.
Yeah, the problem, everybody's done that, but what's happened the last couple of years with the testing limits and the things that have come aboard with NASCAR trying to help keep the sport a lot cheaper, and I think that's working, but at the same point, for guys that are trying to learn, you're learning at the racetrack. And when you wreck, unfortunately, everybody sees it, to where guys in the past, they could go wreck. We hear stories about everybody that came up, Jeff Gordon, Casey Kane, Tony Stewart, all the cars they wrecked, learning in testing as they were rookies, but nobody really saw that. So we're kind of on the stage now where everybody's looking, but it just takes time. But I have a ton of fun with it. I'm a lot better off than when I started, and we're having a lot of fun here. And see what this rain does. Best by Ford, we were decent. We were not as good as we wanted to be, but we'll be ready to go for tomorrow.
So many big names in tomorrow's race. How intense is that thing going to be with just a few laps?
Man, it's tough. I was looking down the list when I started a couple weeks ago, looking at the showdown, and I thought it was the All-Star race until I got to my name. I was like, wait, I'm not in the All-Star race, and it's like, holy crap, this is the showdown. So a lot of big names, but you get there in the top two or you win the thing like I wanted a couple years ago, make it that much more special. But everybody's got to watch. It's 20 laps and then another 20-lap segment for guys that know it really doesn't matter unless you're in the top two. It's going to be kind of checkers or wreckers like usual, but I think this year it's going to be even more of that mentality. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to enjoy it, just have a great time.
It's going to be fun to watch. Hammer down tomorrow night.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I like this young fellow, Richard Petty. Foster Gillette, who runs this team, both think he has a great future in this sport. Despite his open wheel pedigree, he comes from a working class background, and he's earned the right to be here. And you can tell he's having fun with it.
And I felt so bad for him at Dover. He had a great race car and had that loose wheel, made his 2 laps up, and then just trying a little too hard, speeding on pit road.
It is raining on the qualifying parade here in Charlotte. We'll be back.
Tonight, the world's toughest trucks battle under the lights in Charlotte, where sparks will fly, metal will be crushed, and tempers will boil over. Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series live from Charlotte, tonight at 7:30 Eastern, only on Speed.
For graduation, we gave identical twins gift cards from very unidentical stores. Let's see what happens.
Gift card. Yeah! Spend some money, dude. Gift card.
Let's check out some laptops.
Oh, yes. Go, 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 go. Nice.
And check this out. You can stream it right to your TV.
Yeah, get it in there. Get it in there. I'll take it.
Class is in session.
Supernova.
Technology's so cute.
This graduation, give them something they'll actually need. Give them a gift card from Best Buy.
At Gander Mountain, we're not familiar with the phrase, I'm bored. In the summer, you make your own fun. And no one makes it easier than Gander Mountain. With an expanded selection of high-performance gear from brands like MSR, Columbia, Merrill, and the North Face. Shop the store, our catalog, or online with free shipping every day. Gander Mountain. We live outdoors.
What gets you moving?
Because when you get moving an hour a day,
you'll have the energy to skate through anything.
Get up and play an hour a day, Doc. Check out how to be a player at letsmove.gov. That's www.letsmove.gov.
Pickles! One policy, please.
Our service is top-notch. We'll take care of you, your family, even this little guy.
Great.
Ta-da!
Thank you.
What else can you do? Ram up, boy. He's on break.
Caring for you and your loved ones. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
And get free shipping. This is a limited time offer. So call 1-800-471-4535. Online at drfieldbrush.com.
DR is professional power for homeowners.
Look at that banner. Pull that little plane around. Sunday live from Charlotte, an epic TV event. Bill France Sr. and Jr., Richard Petty, Junior Johnson, and Dale Earnhardt rightfully take their places as the first inductees to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Live coverage Sunday at noon Eastern, exclusively on Speed. Last night was a great event, also televised live on Speed. Storyteller's Hours, as writer Tom Higgins, PR man Jim Hunter, broadcaster Barney Hall, and Alan Bestwick, and driver Jeff Burton got together and told stories about all 5 of the inductees, many of which we had heard, some we hadn't, and all of which were memorable and either brought a laugh or a tear. But I think the whole audience, the over 1,000 people that were there in the Charlotte Convention Center, were pretty moved and got a really great understanding of who these 5 individuals were, and not so much what they contributed or what they gave to the sport, but who they were and how they went about things. We learned that some had a great open sense of humor, some a little wry and a little bit of sarcasm, but they had a lot of fun in enjoying what they did to help make this sport great.
Well, I think Jeff Burton talked about Bill France Jr., and I know every one of us has encountered Bill France Jr., and you know the thing about Bill, he was fair, but when you went up in the front of that hauler, he had a way of getting his point across. You may not know exactly where he was going to go, but you knew when you left there what his point was.
He would bait you up. He would set you up.
Tell the story, since you weren't on the panel last night, but there was that great story about qualifying that involved you.
Yeah, no, we were at Pocono, and I think it was me and Neil Bonnet, and I believe it was Tim Richmond, and Tim was driving Harry Hyde's car. Harry Hyde's car got kicked out of. Tim Richmond won the pole in Harry Hyde's car. He came into the pits and he had blue fuel running out of his overflow, or red fuel, I think it was. And that we automatically knew that wasn't legal, and they got caught with that. So he got kicked off the pole. That moved me to the pole. Well, the next day we had second round qualifying. Neil went out the next day and set a new track record in qualifying. Well, they checked his fuel, and lo and behold, if he didn't have something wrong with his fuel. So I start the race on the pole. I get the trophy. I get the check. So we get home, and there's a week off after Pocono then. About the Monday before we go into the next race, I get a call from Bill. And he says, got some bad news. I said, what's wrong, buddy? He said, your teammate. He said, we checked his fuel up there at Pocono, and his fuel was illegal, and that track record and that check he got, we're going to take it away from him. I said, well, you got to do what you got to do, buddy. I said, you can't allow that to go on. And he said, well, then you won't have any problem sending your check and your trophy back because yours was worse than his.
And you know, Mike, I think the funniest story of the night was one of the early stories about Bill France Sr. Tom Higgins told that they were at a race and the preacher didn't show up.
Hal Marchman.
To do the prayer.
Was caught in traffic.
Yeah.
And it was time.
Bill France Sr. Went up there and did the prayer, and they said he prayed, and he prayed, and he prayed, and he prayed some more. He pretty much prayed for about anything and everything you can pray for in a prayer. And then he stopped praying, and everybody was waiting for the ending, of course. And it seemed like about a minute went by, and he kind of stumbled there and said, sincerely, Bill France. He couldn't remember how to actually end the prayer, I guess.
The best part of that story, was going and finding Annie, his wife, and saying, hey, Annie, what's that word? What's that word you end a prayer with?
Amen, Bill.
She said, amen, Bill.
It was a great time last night, though.
It was great. I hope you saw it on Speed, and I hope that it's an annual fixture of the Hall of Fame induction to have a storytelling hour at dinner a couple of nights before. We're under a rain delay in qualifying at Charlotte. Juan Montoya hopes this session gets completed because he would be on the pole. David Reagan hopes the rain keeps coming because the qualifying draw would set the order and he would be on the pole if we're unable to finish this session. We also have All-Star qualifying coming up and the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race. So there's a lot to do this evening.
And one thing about the All-Star qualifying, remember this, they'd have to drive pit road too.
Yes. And let's go down to the garage and Matt Yoakum.
Back in 2002, Ryan Newman, a rookie, scored at that time the biggest win of his career, winning the All-Star event. Describe what that was like for you at that point in your career.
Well, for me personally, I didn't have an umbrella man, so I had achieved all the things that you had achieved.
See, it's not in your contract, I guess.
No, it was an awesome win. We weren't even expected to be in the race, and making it through the whatever they called the sprint showdown at the time or whatever it was, but getting into the race, starting last. I think the first segment we just barely made the cut. I think we were 20th, and whatever it was, we made the cut and got the invert eventually. Started up front, and we had a great car all night. We started off really tight, and then freed it up, and finally got it right. And Junior was coming on those 4 tires, and we held him off and got sideways off of 2. Just a great event for us as our team to build, and that definitely helped my career for sure. And we were close several times after that to get a points win, but that All-Star win, and it will always be special for me.
Coming up, one of the most exciting qualifying sessions all year long. Describe for the fans what it's like to come barreling off turn 4 to hit pit road.
Well, it's kind of unique because we're doing it in qualifying trim, and it's the fastest you're ever going to hit pit road or come to hit pit road. Usually tires are wore out, brakes are hot. Now the brakes are cool, tires are good, and you can really haul her in there. So it's very critical to get to that point on pit road where pit road timing line starts for speed and get to it as fast as you can. That's where you make up. That could be the biggest difference in making up the winning time tonight. So we'll see. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for the guys to be included in the pit stop and the qualifying effort. A lot of friends and family, teammates and team members here. So it's really fun for us.
When I say one of the most unique and crazy moments ever in a race car, and I mentioned side window, what comes to mind here at Charlotte?
I was going down the front straightaway. I think this was like the October race in 04 or 05 or something like that. I was going down the front straightaway, and my right side window popped out going into turn 1, and it made my ears pop because of the pressure differential. And I came around that next lap, and I mean it's a penalty for having the right side window out. So I came around the next lap, and Sterling Marlin was in front of me at the time in the 40 car, and he kicked that window up, and it came and shattered off my windshield. So I thought that was like a 1 in a million chance to kick it out one lap, and then the next lap to come around and have it shatter off my windshield. So I think we ended up putting another right side window in it. Started back, last car in the lead lap, and finished 4th that night. But that was like, if I could have done it with a lottery ticket, it would have been a lot more beneficial.
All right, well, good luck this weekend. And by the way, your umbrella time is over. Interview time's done, so you need to get someone else to help you out. All right, Dick Bergeron.
Kozlowski, he's here in his, what do you call this little thing you're riding around in?
Golf cart.
There you go, little golf cart. It's got a nice cover, so he's dry, I'm not. Tomorrow night is going to be your very first time in the big race, in the All-Star event. But you've watched a lot of them, and you've seen what happens in that last 10 laps. And you know we've got the potential for 3 green-white checkers. So how you planning to play your cards in that last 10 laps?
Well, before you're ever going to win a race, you have to be there at the end. So that's an important piece of it, and I expect the All-Star race to turn into a slam fest, that's for sure, but it's going to be great racing, and it's a race that we certainly enjoy, and as competitors and even just as fans of the sport. So it's one of those races that I'll go back home and push the rewind button on and watch the final 10 laps myself when I get home, but really looking forward to it. Our Penske Dodge Charger is pretty fast, so I think we hit on a few things.
It wasn't so very long ago when you were a struggling NASCAR then Craftsman Series truck racer, and look at you now. You're in the big race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. You've got a chance to run up front. Can you believe what's happened to you and how quickly it's happened?
It's been a good ride. You never believe it. You just hope for more good things to come. I couldn't be where I'm at without the help of some really good people. People are what makes this sport and makes it so special. So had a lot of help along the way, and got to thank those people. And I think I'm associated with some really good people now with Roger Penske and everybody at Penske Racing. So I think we've got more good things to come.
Is there one person who has helped you more than anybody else without whom you wouldn't be here?
Oh, wow. One, it's got to be your family. Your family is the one that got me started in everything I've done. So, and there's been more than that, but they're probably the biggest supporters.
Good for you. Thank you. We look forward to watching you tomorrow night.
Now, Brad Hutton's Dick's camera guy, and like he does at Barrett Jackson, he's going to parade around that little golf cart there because you almost don't recognize it as a golf cart. Look at it. It's got weather protection. It's got a full roof. It's got cool mag wheels. The engine's probably boosted up. Looks a lot like yours, Larry.
All the comforts of home right there.
And there's no first tee anywhere near here, at least not till you get over to Rocky River. Matt?
And catching up with young Joey Logano, youngest winner in Sprint Cup. So when you look at this weekend and you see it earmarked on the schedule, describe for your fans that follow you what this weekend means to you.
This weekend's cool, and to be in the All-Star race, that's something that's awesome. Last year I got voted in, which was one of the things I think is real cool in my career, and as a rookie to have that many fans, and I think the 300,000 associates helped a little bit from the Home Depot. So
you got a big posse.
Yeah, it definitely was a good thing. So I was really looking forward to qualifying. This is the first time I got into it, and I was looking forward to being able to come down pit road, doing the pit stop, and
you practice?
I did practice and practice. I practiced coming down pit road, leaving the box. Whether you want to be on the concrete or on the asphalt, or how to get back onto the racetrack, and things like that you've never done before. I've never been able to come off pit road without a pit road speed. So that's gonna be pretty fun. It was gonna be pretty fun. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is if it does rain out. I think if it rains out, I start second. So it's
if it rains out, you're by the draw, so you're on the outside front row.
So I'll take that. That's probably pretty good. So it's not the end of the world, but I was looking forward to having fun coming down pit road and doing all that. But it's not the end of the world. I'm not that bummed out about it.
Well, next weekend is one of NASCAR's crown jewel events, the Coca-Cola 600. For you, exactly, you're already good to go. 600 miles. Are you going to try to prepare yourself differently for that length as far as hydration and also nutrition?
Yeah, there's every week I feel like I kind of do the same thing before I get in the race car. I try to eat as much as I can. It's a long race. Usually about 100 to go, I get pretty hungry. So I'm going to have a 200 to go probably till then. So I'm going to be hungry and be wore out by the end of the race. But it all kind of leads up before that. It's all getting mentally prepared, working out, physically prepared, doing all that, and getting plenty of rest the night before. All that stuff I think goes all add up for that.
All right, good luck this weekend.
Thank you,
Mike.
Now, qualifying has not been rained out, but if it was, Kurt Busch and Joey Logano would share the front row based on the qualifying draw for the All-Star race. And way back on the outside of row 9, the last draw, Dale Jr.
But I think Darrell made a great point. Not only for that qualifying do we have to have the racetrack dry, it's more important than anything, pit road and those pit boxes will have to be dried up.
Yes, sir, all the way in and all the way out.
They've got a busy schedule tonight. We've got a finish showdown.